Hello and welcome. My name's PhoenixRyan and this is Oreo. Welcome to Phoenix Falls. This is the monthly update video where I let you guys know what is happening this month, talk a little bit about last month, and answer some of your questions. So last month we played some Scarlet Nexus, which came out. It was really good fun. I'd highly recommend it. There is going to be a YouTube video with my, I guess, review of that, or just my thoughts on that. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think. It's yeah, I really enjoyed it. Spoilers. Um, we are, however, going to be playing through Dead by Daylight because it is the 5th anniversary. So it's been out for 5 years. The 5th anniversary event is still ongoing up until the 14th of this month. So we're going to play a lot of Dead by Daylight at the beginning of this month. So for all of you that enjoyed Dead by Daylight and my streams on Dead by Daylight, you're in luck. After that, we are going to be looking back at last month because we did want to play Final Fantasy X, but ran out of time because of my health and because of the heat wave. I couldn't get online quite as much as I wanted to. So this month we are 100%. The next game that we're going to be playing is Final Fantasy X after Dead by Daylight. We're going to do a main story run of Final Fantasy X. I'm really looking forward to revisiting that game, and I just can't wait for the Titus laughing scene. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So I hope to see you there. Phasmophobia. We also wanted to cover Phasmophobia last month. The streams, however, got delayed again due to my own health and the heat wave. So what I've proposed is that we're going to do a short YouTube series of what would have been the Phasmophobia streams. I hope you like it. It's something different, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that works. If it works out well and it's well received, then maybe we'll do some Phasmophobia live streams as well. Who knows? This month, also, there is a new game that I want to try. It's called Tribes of Midgard. It's a new action-adventure survival game where we fight against the impending apocalypse of Ragnarok. Sounds really fun. I've had a look at the trailers, the images for it. Looks really good. Really good. We're kind of into the summer drought now, so it's not huge, big blockbuster games that are coming out. We are looking at the more indie side of the spectrum, but no, this one looks pretty good. So this is the Ask Me Anything section. You guys have asked me some questions this month. Let's start with pineapple on pizza, yay or nay? That is a hard sometimes. Now, the reason it's sometimes is because A, I would never, ever order pineapple on my pizza, ever. However, if somebody else had ordered pizza and it had pineapple on it, then yeah, I'd eat it. I'd happily eat it. Also, if I was in the situation where I was eating out, let's say Pizza Hut, and we're at the buffet. I've had all the flavors of pizza that I like, and there is Hawaiian left, right? There's no other pizza there. Would I just sit back down and not have anything? Hell no. I'm gonna stack up on some Hawaiian pizza. I don't hate it. I quite like pineapple on pizza. I just would never order it. Okay, so I hope that answers that question. How do I keep up that magnificent beard? Well, thank you. I really like that compliment. Can we have more questions like that? Okay, so the work that goes into this beard is simple. It's simple. Every morning, we're talking oils, balms, and a brush. That's it. Whenever I shower, I use a beard shampoo, so that's every day. So I'm keeping it clean and just washing out any excess oils and any dirt or whatever, and obviously just keeping it well maintained and groomed, like just keeping on top of it, keeping it well groomed is important as well. You don't want to go too long without giving it a little trim, otherwise it ends up a bit, you know. And I mean, obviously, if you're going volume, then that's fine. But at the same time, if you want to keep it kind of like smart, then you want to trim it every now and then. But best thing I can suggest for anybody who's growing a beard is using oils. Make sure you use them because it will keep your skin moisturized and it will keep the hair strong, so it won't go straggly. You also want to use a brush to obviously train your hair the way that you want it to go. So you know, if you're going for the you know, you can do that. Obviously use mustache wax as well if you're gonna have a big mustache. I have mustache wax. I don't use it that often because I like my mustache to fall into my beard, so it all kind of looks like one thing, you know. But there are occasions where I will sort of create a mustache, you know. So I've got the option to do that. I'm quite lucky. It's just how I've had it groomed as well, so the mustache is kind of on top of the beard. Okay. But also balms as well. Balms are really important. You want to use balms because it's like skin moisturizer, but for the skin under your beard, right? And that's how you need to use it. You need to kind of really get in there, right? Really get in there. Otherwise you end up with like flaky shit skin underneath, and then your beard's gonna start like flaking and create like dandruff, and you don't want that. And as somebody that suffers with poor skin anyway, you know, it's really, really important for me to stay on top of just keeping my beard well groomed. What game are you most looking forward to? Okay, I'm going to break this down into two. Okay, so this year I'm most looking forward to Back 4 Blood. Now, Back 4 Blood is the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead 2, and Left 4 Dead 2 was just one of those games that absolutely defines me getting into PC gaming. Like, Left 4 Dead 2 was one of the first games that I picked up, and I started making friends whilst playing PC games. It was the first game that I made friends with, and for me that was such an amazing experience, and it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. Like, I sunk so many hours into playing this one game. You know, obviously being able to revisit it every now and then, it's nice because it's still active, but at the same time, it'd be nice to play something new. So Back 4 Blood, I'm really, really looking forward to that. Hoping to make a whole load of new friends playing it. And, you know, if people want to play that with me, I'm down. I'm down for that, okay? So I guess next year or later this year, I don't really know, we've got the Evil Dead game that's coming out. Now, that looks absolutely fantastic. Like, look, there's a part of me that is thinking this is Friday the 13th all over again. It's Friday the 13th all over again. I really hope it's not. I really, really hope it's not. I want it so badly to be good. There's a big part of me though that's like, it's gonna be crap, it's gonna be lame, but you're still gonna love it. So I'm gonna play it anyway. I'm gonna play it and I'm still gonna enjoy it even if it's bad. I don't care. I don't care if it's shit. I'll be disappointed, but I'm still gonna have a lot of fun with it. And I think that's kind of the important thing, you know, even if you know something is not gonna be great. Like, look at me. One of my biggest favorite franchises of all time is Dynasty Warriors. You know, I only need to go back to the last game that released, Dynasty Warriors. I mean, 9, was it? Fucking terrible. It was absolutely terrible. You know, I love Dynasty Warriors, but you know, even I can say Dynasty Warriors 9, hot garbage. You know. We've got a long way to go before before they can appeal to me again. And I love the franchise. But yeah, Evil Dead. I'm really looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing how the multiplayer aspect of that works. I think it'll be really, really fun. What is the most influential movie, book, or television show you watched growing up? Okay, so I'll answer all of those. Thank you for this question. I love this question. Thank you. Films? Oh shit. Films? I watched Wayne's World 1 and 2. Wayne's World 1 and 2 were arguably my favorite movies growing up for a long time. A long time. A lot of my humor kind of stems from that kind of silly humor that comes from that. And it's one of those movies, or two movies, where the humor, it didn't age too badly. Like, you can go back to the 90s or whenever, and, you know, there'll be jokes and things that they just don't sit well anymore because, you know, times have changed. But Wayne's World, it's just so fucking funny. It's so funny. I love it. And yeah, I watched it over and over and over and over and over again, and I just wanted to be just like them growing up. Oh God, I love the fight scene in the second one. I love the the banter in the first one. You know, Garth is just amazing. Like, oh God, I loved it. I loved it. Great movies. If you haven't watched them, or you haven't watched them in a while, go freaking watch them again. Amazing movies. The Goonies. Oh God, that was the movie I watched the most when I was a kid. Like, for me, that was the epitome of the best kids adventure movie ever. It's one of those that hasn't aged as well as I would have hoped, because I went back and watched it not that long ago with my daughter, and you know, she wasn't that impressed with it. But no, it was still really good. It still holds a really special place in my heart, and you know, obviously it's a kids movie, but not like a kids movie. I guess when I was growing up, I watched films that were older than were intended for my age. You know, when I was a kid, you know, the age ratings were more seen as guidelines, even though they weren't. So you know, my parents let me watch older movies. I think the only things they didn't let me watch were anything that had sex in them. So, and even then, you know, I could watch Alien. But, you know, oh no, someone's arse is out. You can't watch that. Right. Now, The Goonies, fantastic movie. I still love it. So, yeah, one of those. The movie that I really wanted to talk about, which I'm going to give an honorable mention to, is Neverending Story. The only reason it didn't make this list, it didn't make my top 2, is because it aged so poorly. Like, so poorly. And the sequels are terrible, so you know it loses points for that. Favorite books. The Sword of Truth series is the only series of books that I've read the entirety of, and I was super disappointed with how it ended. I'd highly recommend the books, or at least the first 3 anyway. Really, really great, and it really influenced a lot of my way that I think about Dungeons and Dragons campaigns, as did the Goonies, actually. You know, particularly when it came to like trap making. But no, The Sword of Truth. In terms of like characterization and storytelling, I think it was really, really good. Really, really strong in that department. It didn't have a lot of action going for it. It was something that looked like it was going to have a lot of action, and then it was very much like almost like part 1, Lord of the Rings, where it's just a lot of people talking for a long time. But you know, I was okay with that. It was so freaking good. I loved it. Okay. Um, so the other book that was hugely influential, and I don't think I'm alone here, is the Harry Potter series. Now, surprisingly, I've never read all the books. I only read up until the Order of the Phoenix. So I've never read Half-Blood Prince, and I've never read Deathly Hallows. I only found out what happened in those because I saw the movies. I saw them with my daughter, so you know, I don't know. I love the books, but at the same time, I think that was about the age where I was really I was really starting to go for it with learning guitar, and I was in college at the time, so I wasn't really into reading books like fiction. I was reading nonfiction to help teach myself instruments. You know, I was reading drumming books, guitar books, piano books, singing books as well. Things that would help me through college. So it really wasn't a high priority for me. But I did love the Harry Potter books. Unfortunately, all this stuff going on with J.K. Rowling has kind of taken the sheen off it a bit. I am one of those people that can remove art from artists. So whilst it upset me a little, and I understand why people are upset, and I totally get why people would, you know, choose not to partake in Harry Potter anymore. For me, it was still important enough for me to talk about, and clearly, you know, I would still watch a Harry Potter movie, or, you know, read one of the books again. TV shows. TV shows that I watched growing up were things like Ren and Stimpy, X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, but most importantly, the most important one was Animaniacs. Animaniacs was my favorite cartoon show growing up. Like, everything about it, perfect. Music, perfect. Characters, perfect. Scenarios, perfect. I don't think there was a bad episode of Animaniacs. Shut up, phone. No, there really wasn't a bad episode of Animaniacs. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I would happily sit and rewatch the whole thing, the original one, and I was super freaking amped up to find out that they were bringing Animaniacs back. Like, holy crap! I was so excited, like genuinely. And I know it's for kids, but fuck it, I'm gonna watch it anyway. So, what is your view on the Industrial Revolution? Is this a question? My recollection of British history is spotty at best. Like, I don't do a lot of British history. I've learned all about foreign history, like the American Civil War, Sengoku Jidai period, the Warring States, the Three Kingdoms period. You know, things that really take an interest for me. I'm sure I learned about the Industrial Revolution at school, along with freaking Roman roads. But I guess my view on the Industrial Revolution is that it led to an improved quality of life for people today, and it was a good thing. I think that's all I can say about it. Like, I don't know. What is your view on cancel culture? For me personally, I'm going to tread very lightly here, but I will talk about it. I understand what cancel culture is trying to achieve, but I don't agree, I don't approve, and I've never approved of the angry mob mentality. Never have, and I never will. For me, I love the fact that it makes people be held accountable for their actions. You know, that's a big positive, and that's obviously what cancel culture is trying to achieve. That's what it's primarily setting out to achieve. Make people accountable for their actions. The problem with it is that sometimes people are found guilty before any real evidence comes to light, and you know, it can ruin people's lives. You know, if people get it wrong, if the mob gets it wrong, then people have ruined somebody's life or their career over hearsay or, you know, false accusations. And I think that cancel culture, I think as people within a society, a shared society on the internet, we do have to be very careful about how we apply cancel culture and how we use it, because it is a very powerful tool. But you know, like they said in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah. I mean, the biggest problem for me is that it can affect people's mental health. You know, not just the people being accused, not just the people being cancelled, but bystanders, people's families, even people partaking in it. You know, they get into these big angry disputes, these arguments online, and you know, it's so pointless. You know, I understand people get passionate. I absolutely, totally get that. But when people get so passionate that they start not thinking rationally, you have to take a step back. And, you know, like I said, there has got to be a better, more civilized way of achieving this. And for me, this ain't it. This ain't it. But unfortunately, this is what we've got. And I think until cancel culture kind of, you know, creates more problems than it solves, I don't think it's going to stop. So that's my thoughts on it. I think that I agree with what it's setting out to do, but I think that there is definitely a better way to achieve what it's trying to set out to do. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can follow me on Twitter, which is at PhoenixRyan TV, or you can watch me live on Twitch. My username is PhoenixRyan. So from Oreo and me, this is goodbye. Until next time, ta-ra a bit.